All right. There we go. We are finally here, back. That of the next week, going into that of Runarcana, Arcane Descent, episode 2. Hello, hello. We're back. So, would anybody like to give a small little recap for a potential little inspiration?
I mean, I can do that.
You got it,
All right.
brother. Believe in you.
So, last session we all found ourselves in the twin cities of progress, Piltover and Zaun. Some of us, freshly arrived, fresh off the boat. Others much more familiar with the towns. And the first person we met on this new adventure was a young man named John Wick. Known as small shop near but not quite on the main streets of Piltover. John woke up and went to go do his job in the same building, which was acting as a doorman or security man for his family's shop, Smith's Firearms and Armor. And the first half of his shift was, uneventful, nothing really happened, but at around noon he heard a click from the back door of the shop, which, immediately.
Oh my god, see, please don't go line by line.
Huh?
Sorry. It's more of I get the whole recap, right? That's my bad.
Okay. Well, he went to see what this click was about, and he found that the door was unlocked, but he did not see any immediate intruder, so the level of alert went down a bit. But then he noticed something about the storage. The door was not quite closed, and as he opened the door, he could see a cloaked figure inside having a standoff with his father. And then let's rewind time for a few minutes as Rago, a very weary traveler, spots a shop, a gunsmith, which he had been to before, which was quite competent. And given that he was a bit secretive in nature, he decided not to go through the front, but instead go through the back door of said shop, where he encountered the owner of said shop, an elderly man.
I
They
will
moved to
have
a storage
to.
room.
I will have to ask you to try to speed up a little bit, or else we'll be here for ages if we go through each story.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I'm sorry. Well, Rago entered the shop, again went to the storage with the boss of the shop, and they talked a bit about, weapons and repairing shit. And John basically interrupted them, and they talked a bit, and in the end, there was a bit of an incident with someone invading the shop, let's call it that, and John was fired from his job by his father, and offered to Rago as, a traveling mechanic, basically, as sort of a test. The second scene was in an underground arena, in a fight between two people, an already established fighter, Astarias, the Minotaur, and a new arrival, Rinde, from Ionia, who's a weird figure. They had a fight, but before they could come to a conclusion, the enforcers invaded this underground arena, and they had to run away. And as they ran through the underground tunnels, a door opened in front of them, and a very small human called Cece basically helped them escape from the enforcers and led them through basically the sewers out onto the street. A few things happened in the sewers. Most importantly is that Asterius actually had a letter with him about an invitation from Victor. And this Victor is, if I didn't misunderstand, an enforcer who has some ideas about how things should work. Third scene was in a big mansion in Piltover, the home of the Sinclair family. And the focus here was Maury Sinclair, youngest, or not youngest member of the family, but a younger member of the family. And she was also invited to a meeting by Victor and planned to go there tomorrow. And yeah, the next day we all met in the last drop. Everyone I described before, and also a few other people. And Victor basically said that everyone here had to fight, and the ones that came out on top would be part of his crew. And well, party members got out on top. Won the fight, or rather got there first. And Victor led us to his home up in Piltover, where we were greeted by a very big yellow robot. And that's where we ended the session.
Yes, yes, yes. That being said here, just a second. All right, I just fix something. All right, with that being said here, that does catch us up to somewhat of the present here, which I will have to correct one thing here, but it's less of a correction, more of a understanding. So, as we were leaving off, you guys had pretty much walked with that of Victor, towards that of what would be essentially what was kind of said to be of a home. And as I was saying before, last time, you guys had ended on pretty much seeing actually this bigger yellow like construct. Uh, there he is. Gosh, he's super small on this map. All right. Approaching towards or you guys approaching towards that of this like kind of area that seems to still be kind of foggy, especially because in that of Zaun there's generally some type of dark mist or dark fog around, if not more on the less breathable side. um Kind of like starts to clear away a small bit as you see in front of like this kind of like fenced in area, like metal fenced in area, that of this big yellow construct appears to be standing in front. And you immediately hear of that of Victor start to chime up after that of Blitzcrank here had basically asked for what his next order is, as Victor proceeds on to say, "You have done what you needed for now. Go back down into Zaun, into the deeper depths, and make sure we save as many as possible." As Blitzcrank says affirmative, as he proceeds on to kind of like with the big robot steps, passing by everybody. As you see him walk off into that of the distance, Victor turns around in front of this fence, looks at you all, and says, "Now, I know I said I was bringing you to more of my home, but this will be more of your home for now. We will discuss more details inside, but I think it would be best for you to see what's there first. As he kind of like makes a gesture to go in.
Then I suppose if nobody heads in first, John will walk in first.
How long did it take us to get there?
Probably like 10 minutes.
Okay. I
Decent walk.
suppose I will hesitantly go in.
Or I will wait for two of the others to head in first, and then she will follow close behind.
Everybody,
Ragos actually gonna go up to Victor and just say, I need to know one thing here and now. Are you the same Victor that attacked 3 years ago?
he gives you like a weird kind of stare and is like, excuse me?
The Victor that almost brought this city to ruin in his idea of perfection? Is that you?
What? He looks completely and utterly confused as if he doesn't know what you're talking about.
Ragos gonna just sigh and start walking back in, not giving an explanation.
Just befuddled this man.
And just
Shouldn't
confused.
they well also?
As you guys proceed on in, though, you are met with that of a horror. Quite literally a horror show as you look on in. Yeah, I just had. Here we go. As it's a horror show, as you look on in, as to probably no one's surprise looking on the outside, this place on the inside does not look too well. There are dust beyond dust, webs beyond the cobwebs. There's that of basically dirty or not even readable books anymore on the floor. Some things look like they got burned. Other things look like they were pretty much quickly left about. And it seems like it's been abandoned almost to that point that it's been abandoned for anywhere you could guess from at least a few years.
If I'm correct, this is like in Zaun, or is it in Piltover? Or just like kind of in between?
It's a little bit higher up in Zaun.
Okay.
So here it's not really the nauseous gas that would be usually all around isn't as bad as it isn't as bad in this area in specific, but this building in specific, yes, is like pretty much just an abandoned building. As he proceeds to say, now you see the first experiment or test you could go with I had didn't specifically involve this. However, you guys will be tasked with cleaning this up. You see like that of even like a little family of rats come out from the wall, going across the wall, going across to another side of the wall, and some pest control.
So we are your exterminators and cleaners.
No, this is for your own selves. As part of what I need, it requires for you all to have your own place. That place,
And if we already
being
have
this
our
one.
own home,
Then
can
so
we stay there instead?
then so be it. If you want to stay there, but that doesn't change the fact you still have to clean here.
Why doesn't it?
John's just gonna silently double check if he has a pair of gloves. realize that no, he probably doesn't, and proceed to, you know, use the torch to just start like kind of sweeping things, like an unlit torch to just start sweeping whatever large debris is off to the
Mori's
side.
going to go to, if anything could ever possibly be salvaged, and use mending to fix everything up as much as she can. Because, God, this place is a wreck.
So I'm not gonna say anything about that right now, but
Mhm.
you will see the results of that later. Technically soon. In the meantime, though, before you all super start on getting all of this per se done, it's time to probably explain to why I even have you guys together as a group, unless you wouldn't like that answer.
Oh, please
I
explain.
very much would so.
Yes.
You see he gives like a small little smirk as
Oh god, he's cocky.
I even say what he's doing yet.
He's smirking.
Smirk for reasons. Okay. He kind of smirks at first as he goes, well, it's to influence and help that of Zaun in the end. I myself remember a couple of years back, you see as he like slowly walks towards the window looking out, there was a time where Piltover and Zaun together, in unison. Something about some Noxian invasion of sorts. And as sadly as I can say I wasn't there for any of that, it also is to say, after coming back and seeing that of people from the streets of Zaun communicating, having a fun time, laughing, playing even, with that of people of Zaun and others. It was great. It was almost like a true meaning of an evolution. And I would like to continue into that. Which is why, partially of the reason, some of you here were more requested and others just out of nowhere. I want to show people once again there's hope, no matter who you are, no matter where you came from, no matter how you do it. And seeing as you lot have something I would assume to be something more capable in terms of being able to complete these tasks, I will trust you fully for it. But don't get me wrong either way, because there's also a secondary reason for all of it. I want to see what it's like, or at least, in your words, what it's like for you all to be together. Think of this whole big living thing, or team thing at least, to be a kind of experiment. There is that of one room that I do have kept up at least for you all here. As he goes to like kind of like a corner room that seems kind of like a really small compared to all the other places, but you see it's got some like uh pipes going through the room. It's got a couple cogs and wheels just kind of around, and you see that of a kind of stone, like a um it's quite literally it's that of ascending stone. I'll just say it. It's that of like ascending stone in some in a glass on some equipment that is like very visible in front of you with a chair there. And what I'm trying to describe here, which you'll understand when I actually say it, what I'm trying to describe here is, or Victor goes, this room, you could think of it as a, what's the word? Room of confessions? Something like that. I would like to hear from your words from time to time what, or at least how, you feel about the whole thing. Keep an eye on each other. See what it is like in another's shoes, maybe. But here is purely just for purposes of yourself. Talk here to at any point in time, I'd say, and don't don't worry about saying anything that's just comes to mind. As the others, they won't hear it. This is just purely your thoughts and your thoughts alone every time you come into here. Just make sure you lock the door whenever you do.
And why would I speak here instead of just thinking my thoughts?
Then how am I supposed to know?
But why do you want to know? Why would I want to tell you?
That's he kind
These are
of
my
looks
thoughts,
he kind of looked
not
puzzled.
yours.
Well, you don't have to say everything on your thoughts, but anyways, the point being is for this here, if you use it, if you don't, then you don't. But here is just a place that I would like you guys to go to and basically tell me what's going on. This is very valuable information that I will use for that of the, what do I call it? An interspecies experiment, something like that. Too many technical words I could use, but remember, primarily, I want you all working together. Which means, after you're done cleaning this up, maybe even a little bit, get some sleep for the night. I'll be back tomorrow for that of what I would assume to be your first test. Though anybody can feel free to leave if they want, but do note the moment that they leave is the moment that they lose out on the contract. To be that of as long as you're here or doing the work I ask, you get that of 10 gold per week per person. 10 gold is nothing to sneeze at, by the way.
I'm sorry. What?
Mm-hmm.
During
CC
this
gets
entire
cleaning.
time, John has not stopped cleaning.
CC was not cleaning at all, and then as soon as he said 10 gold, I immediately start cleaning.
Fantastic.
Mhm.
And when the place is cleaned up as well, I'll also send that of fresh food and supplies for other things such as taking showers, laboratory stuff. Laboratory, no, latrine. Fancy word for restroom.
Laboratory.
Yeah, as as I leave it up to you all, and I'll be back tomorrow. As he proceeds to leave.
How long was that conversation?
Again, honestly, only like 5-10 minutes.
All right, cool. Are we at RP time?
Oh yeah, you guys will be able to talk if you wanted. I saw him.
Okay, I need to see. I need to see something.
Okay.
Where is it? Cool. He said that room was private, right?
well, assumably private as long as you close the door. I didn't actually mention it, but it is kind of soundproof on the outside of the door. So like you can't like anything spoken inside won't be heard from anywhere.
Cool. I'm gonna break off cleaning, go in there, shut and lock the door, and I'm gonna use the Shoma Master thing I have, where because it's 10 minutes, I can realize his memories from the last 5 hours.
Okay.
Anything sus in there? What was his memories of the last 5 hours?
Because I kid you not, the last 5 hours has been pretty much setting all of this up, aka earlier in the day he had set up on getting this room pretty much the lastly kind of set up before telling some people to get ready at his manor to essentially to clean some stuff up, leading to pretty much leading up to pretty much him coming down into Zaun, talking with that of the barkeeper, establishing that of like his place, and after that he was just waiting for a good while.
He was never home or anything. I don't know where his home was.
Nope.
Who were his people?
Is this house like 2-story or 1-story?
This is technically 3 stories. There's a basement, there's a main floor, and there's an upper floor.
Did you say this is a decently sized place?
Oh,
Big enough to
100.
easily fit 5 people, or
Oh, it could definitely fit way more than 5 people.
interesting?
Rago's gonna try to make their way upstairs and see if they can't find anything that's not completely dead or broken.
Unfortunately,
Books specifically.
Unfortunately, not really. Like, there are books, and there's plenty of books around that are still usable, but they're not like anything interesting to you. They're essentially like, how do I put it? Like half of them are storybooks, but they're storybooks on like favoring nobles, essentially.
Mhm.
Propaganda.
Can I find like a broom or anything?
I mean, yeah, it wouldn't be too hard. Good luck getting the spiders out of it, though.
Just for clarification, so these ceilings are high enough where these 2 huge men can be in here, like standing up straight, like
Do you
perfectly fine?
just want me to put you on the map? Is that what we're going to? I'll just put you on.
Oh,
the map.
I'm just curious.
So the reason I put out this is because this is what I wanted to show you guys to say this is a messy place. When you guys clean it up, this is the main floor.
Mm.
Some
Yes.
interesting floor plan.
They can actually stand up. Maybe slouched, but definitely standing up.
Yeah, if you guys got
I
a
was-
like a decently sized statue in here, you're good.
Yeah, no, Jin will just take the broom outside, beat it on the floor a couple of times, come back in and start sweeping. If you can find a second broom, he'll dual wield them.
Hey, you want to go to the basement?
Dual wheel.
Is that what I'm hearing?
No, just outside. Just no basement for me. 2
No, I
brooms,
wanna go to
start
the
sweeping.
basement.
You don't want to see the basement? Man.
Let's start here.
I mean, in either case, I'm just going to show you guys the rooms just so you understand. So when everything gets cleaned up, this is the main floor. I've given you guys a little bit of look at it. Here's the upper floor.
Oh.
Oh god, we have to share beds.
Technically just share a room. I don't think you're sharing beds.
Should have done the 5 people 1 bed trope.
Oh Jesus!
Never.
That would have.
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory? No.
Yeah, that's
God,
what
then somebody get murdered.
You start, and now when you guys start walking down, to the basement, it's gonna start to sound like echoing, like the footsteps. Like at first it sounds soft, but then it's louder and louder until you enter the room to where you see it's literally a basement ballroom.
Ori likes this place.
This is dope.
You cannot tell, but she likes this place.
It'll be also a little bit more fancier on Foundry when I actually get a couple things set up on the map for it, but otherwise it's pretty much just kind of as it looks. And I'm saying this is when it gets cleaned up. All these pictures are when it's cleaned up. Beforehand, it just looks nasty, dirty. Good luck getting rid of the 5 different families of rats, rodents.
There's quite a few moments where we just hear a very loud banging as somebody just beats the shit out of a rat. grabs like a spare table leg, and you just hear what? You hear lightning shoot off upstairs.
Cece sends her crab after rats. Crab just eats rats.
I mean, there's a much easier way to deal with the rats.
By the way, you guys have to all thank Mori for mending because they were able to mend that of basically all the furniture, including the beds you guys have.
Oh, neat.
Uh,
But yeah, to deal with whatever rats are in the main entrance ground floor, John just takes out a loaf of bread, tosses it out, and leaves the door open.
You guys
They'll
can
go out
also
eventually.
put yourself on the map if you want.
How do I do that?
Do you get through the door?
Sure, somehow. Just
Hold on.
fold myself into half.
It's because the map isn't that good. There you go.
How do I grab my token? I do not remember.
You click and drag from the actor
actors
page.
map.
Like just click and drag it on the map.
Yeah. Actor page. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that guy needs to be fixed.
I just wanted to check if there was the mounting thing.
What just happened?
I was fixing the sizes.
Okay. Damn.
It's because it's supposed to be a lot bigger to you guys, so you guys had to be shrunk a little bit. That's just on the map though. Don't worry about it.
Damn, John Wick.
It's also. Oh well, I mean, right now it's still all up on you guys. If however you guys wanna RP, if you guys wanna do anything for anything else for the cleaning, other stuff like that. Otherwise, we would just continue on.
So if we leave the house, it's an automatic. We're out of contract.
I mean, I don't think
Is that what
he
he
ever specifically said that.
I thought he said if you leave, you forfeit the contract.
I'm assuming it meant like if you leave right now before, dealing with all the cleaning stuff, because he does want us to do things outside, right?
Yeah, that's kind of obvious.
So like, I'm assuming it's a, hey, if you leave and never come back type of deal. Or if you leave for longer than a day or something, you're out of the contract.
Kind of what it sounded like.
Feels like he didn't need to say that. That feels obvious. I just thought it was you can't leave the house.
Now it's like his last chance to back out right now type of deal. before you're possibly in 2D, most likely.
So I've noticed there's 2 spiral staircases here. Does only one lead downstairs and only one lead upstairs, or do they
Yes.
both lead to different rooms? Okay. Interesting.
You can determine which one is which for that, but either way, yes, one leads to the basement, which is the basement ballroom. The other leads to the top, which is the bedroom, essentially.
Understood. Hmm. Hmm.
DC just going off the map.
I was just looking around outside.
I mean, yeah, because otherwise, right, I was just gonna clean, probably sticking to like the ceiling and cleaning up there.
Maury is probably going to stick to the upstairs kit. Well, after repairing all of the furniture, and she will stick to kind of sorting everything about. She's very detailed and meticulous with everything she does. And she is going to try to assemble some kind of barrier between the beds. Kind of like give everybody a little bit more privacy. As much as she can.
What kind of barrier are we talking about?
Like full floor to ceiling. Could probably put a door in if you really, really tried.
Is this like
Oh,
a
jeez.
curtain or is this like a actual building?
Probably curtains,
Okay.
but
Yeah, I can see you setting up
something that can be pulled back if needed.
I do not think this bed fits me. I shall simply lie on the floor for now.
They could make adjustments to fit your size. It would.
Can you get smaller?
I cannot. People have asked me that before. I wonder why.
I mean, if you look at actually how big the beds are, they're actually like basically queen or king size. So even if you're a large creature, you still could be on the bed.
Your feet would
I'd
be
be
hanging
putting
off.
You would be hanging off. The bed might creak a bit, but it's still available.
But outside of that, if I can, I think, try to investigate as much as she can about this place. Any hidden nooks or crannies, anything upstairs or downstairs, stuff that kind of would really take some thorough searching to figure out and find if there was something left by previous tenants or stuff
All
like
right.
that.
So this is what I'm
Anything
gonna
that
give
might have
you.
been hidden.
This is what I'm gonna give you. Anybody that's here today can give me one investigation. However, the investigation roll has to be chosen beforehand. Of if you're doing the upper floor, middle floor, or bottom floor.
I'm doing the ballroom.
So the bottom floor.
I will do the upper floor.
I'll do the main floor.
Bracket will also do the up floor.
I'm not particularly good at this. Oh, that's not 20.
That's a nat 20. 28 total. Is that my first roll of the entire game?
Can my crab also investigate?
No.
What do you mean?
It's
no?
not gonna help.
He could try. He could get a nat 20.
Even if he gets a nat 20, he would find like a piece of cheese, baby. I'm telling you.
Out there.
Crabs eat cheese?
Mine does.
All right. So
So,
we're gonna start from the top floor. Upper floor. Who rolled for upper floor?
that was me, the 28.
And me, the 13.
13 does not help you, but a 28 on a 28 Mori, you looking around as well as fixing that of the beds from before, but you do see that of a good few books still up in the upper floor, which honestly you probably wouldn't care too much about, seeing as they're all just, again, it's mostly story books. However, there is one book that kind of stands out, one with like that of a lock on it.
Mm.
Now,
And she'll
it's up to you if you want to try to break open the lock or something.
she'll snag it for now, put it away into her bag, but she won't do anything to try to open it as of yet. Kind of in a way of seeing if it's somebody's or not.
Understood. Just note that down for yourself. Who is searching middle floor?
Me.
And along with John.
Yes. That's probably for the best.
Yeah.
It's a dirty entrance. Still needs some good sweeping. So anyways, who's looking at the lower floor?
Me.
On an 11, you're looking around and trying to find maybe anything that you can. Usually, I assume usually you as a character would be like trying to find any like hidden secrets or dirt or anything like that. And
Yeah.
you do find some dirt. Looks like
Good dirt?
looks like some dirt that was dug up by some rats. Might be a small rat tunnel.
Yo, can I go down there?
You're not a rat.
I could be a lizard.
Oh boy.
Okay, then go down there. I'm not gonna stop you.
This is my bedroom now. I live in this rat hole.
I ain't gonna stop you. Shit. If you wanna say hello to all the rats down there, that's up to you.
I'm a little rat.
Rat man.
Little rats. All right. Now with that out of the way, though, it does turn towards the nighttime. So, however you guys want to do it, however you guys want, say you do, I assume that you might want to go to sleep. But I'm also going to mention to you all, because this is how I was trying to set it up. But the confessional is supposed to be like I'm trying to set it up kind of like, I don't know if anyone understands the reference, but like total drama island kind of style, where it was like
Yes.
at any point in
We
time
understand.
we could just like go back to it.
You check the side chat. it'll
Yeah,
be
if you check
really
the
fun.
chat.
That's the one thing I can't do, because that messes with all
Fair
the
enough.
cameras and their placements on the stream.
There's a GIF
Yeah.
there, and it's really funny.
Of it. That popped in my head first too.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was the first
immediately
thing that-
like. First thing I did was send a GIF of the total drama. Was it at Porta Pot
Peak reality TV moment.
outhouse? Yeah.
Mm.
So is this an actual outhouse, or is it just a wooden box, kind of, with a camera in there, or microphone technically?
It's technically a microphone. It's like, think about like think about a really small closet, for like maybe a small storage closet, to where you'd put like a broom and like a couple of brooms, a couple supplies. Like it's like that small. So yes, you think of it like literally like the total drama confessional, where it's like a small little room.
Interesting.
And anyway, assuming for anybody that would be sleeping here or wherever that they think would be safe, feel free to get your long rest in.
Oh, that's...
Actually, before we
Jeez.
fully get like our long rests and everything,
Mhm.
while everybody's kind of getting ready for bed, Mori will turn to the others. I do not believe we have made our introductions to each other yet. I do not know any of your names, who you are, where you're from, your professions.
This one is called Shinde. I am simply here.
Mori has like a notebook out that she's writing everything in.
I am searching for a name.
Do you not already have one? You said you are called Zinde, yes?
Well, that is what the people called me, but it's not the name It is not my name, I think. I'm trying to find my own name.
Understood. I am sure you will find it eventually. Now for the rest of you.
Thank you for your vote of confidence.
Uh,
Oh, go ahead.
yeah, okay. Since nobody else wants to go, John, last name Wick. I used to be security for a small shop. Nowadays, I'm following him, and John points at Rago.
Just Fraggo for now.
She's just writing all of this down.
I kind of look over at where we're all sitting and I go, I'm CC. I run games of skill in Piltover, and I live in Zaun.
What kind of games of skill?
Cards mostly. I have a gambling license, so I run cards. I run dice. You know, things like that, and also sometimes just for fun, magic. Balls under cups. You know.
Performative magic.
Yeah.
I assume nothing actually. Are they through magical nature or?
Who knows when it's helpful?
You guys hear the big snoring of Asterius already being asleep.
Disappointing. Considering that two of you are rather injured, I imagine was a more recent combat.
Me and the Minotaur fought in an arena. But we were interrupted.
A fighting ring then.
By enforcers. I kind of saved their ass.
What are the forces doing there? I mean, I would know that it was likely a illegal fighting ring of some kind, just kind of off a guess. Or
Yeah, it's pretty obvious. Generally, enforcers wouldn't go down into Zaun too much unless, basically for like operations.
I just kicked my desk over.
You alright?
I know that feeling all the time.
Oh no.
My leg fell asleep. I moved the other one off of it and just full kicked the desk with the one that wasn't asleep. Oh, Lord Almighty.
If you weren't awake, you're awake now.
Maury stubbed her toe.
No. He's much more put together than I am.
Murray fucking
Oh,
dies.
Maury.
Dies.
All purpose.
Jesus, man.
Oh, and there goes my set.
Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez.
Oh,
Are you alright now?
Yeah, are you okay?
you would not. 110% a me issue, not a her issue. She is so much more dexterous than I am. Massively so. I'm an idiot. She's not.
I hope so for
Um,
her sake.
Goodness. Where were we?
Enforcers at illegally arena.
Yes. They
So
were
I am
running
guessing
after us.
this fighting ring was not of a legal standard.
I was just brought there. They told me I could make a name for myself there.
You were just brought there. You're not familiar with Zaun and Piltover.
I arrived yesterday.
Oh,
Your
Why?
luck must not be very great, my friend.
Yeah, why would you come to Zaun?
Well, they told me that people can be anyone here.
I mean, technically true, but usually people are from here that can be anyone here.
I will be anyone regardless.
CC kind of just shrugs and kicks her feet up onto the table.
So your primary profession is a fighter of some kind.
Guess so. Yes. I know how to swing the swords.
Are the rest of you capable of fighting?
Uh,
Defending yourselves?
Usually I tend to either talk my way out of it or run away. I try not to directly engage.
Unfortunately, I know all too well to protect myself.
I would generally hope that I'd be considered capable.
Protecting yourself can take many forms. I'm great at getting away. How about you, since you asked the question?
And I am adept where needed. Although I prefer ranged combat. And I am usually better suited in supporting or augmenting one's own abilities with whatever inventions I can create. And since I did not introduce myself earlier, I am Maurice Sinclair. And I primarily work as a mortician, but I do have experience within technomantic.
From Piltover, I assume?
Yes.
I could
must
tell when you said
apologize.
brains.
I only heard one of those.
You can
I
go
must
ahead.
apologize, but I only know half of these words. What is a mortician?
A mortician is a person who tends to the dead, decorates them for death, and prepares them for the rituals that will send them on to the afterlife and then burial.
And steals all their goodies,
Oh.
usually.
I would do no such thing. My family is very confident in what we do and take pride in it. We respect the dead. Never do we steal what is theirs.
Must be different
Yes.
up there.
So we have been doing this tradition for many, many years. It's not like us to bend or break our rules simply for a light profit. When doing what we do responsibly will earn us so much more in the longer term.
It is only right to respect the dead.
Of course.
CC says nothing.
Yes, you see, where's your confessional?
Cuts to the dead are dead. What the fuck does it matter?
Hard cut to Mori in the confessional. This one's a bitch. I don't like him.
Kick him out.
And that we
Real quick,
stole
who is
goodies.
that? Sorry, I'm still trying to match names with usernames and stuff for the
Oh, yes.
characters. So, real quick, tell me your character names. If I can get, I think I've already gotten matched with Zin and John. Borrego and CC are still the ones that are confusing me right now.
TC is Bunny.
Ooh, thank you.
CC Bunny. Yes.
And
And
then the
then
other one.
Rago's Lycan.
Ooh, thank you, thank you.
And Astarius is missing. As always.
So say something has been
Pass
what you mean?
the fuck out. Yeah.
Hey, they took a lot of damage, all right? They need to.
They
go
took a
to-
lot of damage and then proceeded to move a lot of heavy stuff for cleaning. Like,
Yeah.
I give them a break.
Yes.
And they fought like the entire tavern. Like they need to take it down.
That is fair, yes.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
And do any of you know the Minotaur's name?
Did he even introduce
Astarius.
himself to the sewers?
Astarius.
Astarius. With IOUS, if I remember correctly.
Astarious.
Yes.
Yes. Zin would be one of the only people that might know his name if he didn't say it to anybody else, because they definitely introduce themselves with their names.
Yeah. I look at CC looks at Zen and goes, "So, which one of you won in the arena?"
We said it was a draw. But we
Was
were
it a draw?
interrupted.
I mean, everybody always says that to save face. Who actually won, though?
I admit I might have taken a hit of his just to test what his proficiency was.
What
His
conclusion
proficiency was lower than I expected.
Thank you, My5, for the follow. Welcome, welcome.
Maury writes that down very explicitly. Vegetarian.
Instead, I'm shit talking him.
So
No.
Now that
Fighting is lacking.
so now that we've all introduced ourselves, I have a question.
Yes.
Everybody at Zaun has an angle. What do you think this guy's is?
They do not
It's
believe
not to
everybody.
save.
I do not believe everybody in Zaun has an ulterior motive. Most do. This man, I do not believe he is all what he speaks. His
Sometimes.
sudden arrival is suspicious. Not
His
to
sudden
mention-
arrival suspicious. His reason for us getting together to save Zaun is suspicious. Multiple people have tried to save Zaun throughout the years, and it never
It
happens.
just means that he's not necessarily Zaun Knight.
No, he
in
is
your
still
eyes.
Tolan.
And, well, when it comes to people who are used to the city proper for Piltover is
They gain ideas of grandeur to make themselves seem as a hero.
Out of character, did he say he was Piltover, and how do we know that?
He was
I
He
missed
mentioned,
Okay,
I believe he mentioned it at some point.
I just forgot if he did. All right.
He made mentions of his manner and of other things. I can't recall it perfectly right now, but it sounded like he was from Piltover.
It would definitely
TC
make
goes.
the most sense.
CC goes, honestly, that makes it worse. Whenever Piltoverans come down here to try and help, it just makes matters worse.
Is it not good to try and help people?
I don't know.
It is.
I
But it can
think
also be
that
dangerous.
I think that people from the same group should help people.
I wouldn't call it illusions of grandeur. It's more of a
Misplaced hope.
CC kind of just points.
eyes focused
That's
on the stars.
outright misplaced hope.
Oh,
They're looking at something, and they see things that most don't see. And, well, when it comes to Zaun, almost all the problems are visible.
Much and many of the Piltovans that live above see Zaun as a resource to be exploited. Much of those who live there see it only as something to gain profit from, and if they wish to save the people here, it is simply because they wish to raise the means of production, or perhaps make themselves feel better for what their ancestors have done.
We'll see tomorrow what his ideas are and how much hope is misplaced. If he goes straight to, I'm getting all of you guys to kill the Chem Barons, we'll know that he's a crazy person.
At least we're all going into this cautious and aware of that issue.
And of course,
Baron.
except for the Minotaur.
I'm telling you now, though, if he asks for something that's impossible, I'm not gonna kill myself trying to do it for 10 gold.
I only offer my life for triple pay.
Got standards. All right, then. With all that being said, I assume that you guys, at this point, you guys would get your long rest in.
I'm sleeping in the rat hole.
I mean, do what you want. I mean, I'm not gonna stop you.
Feel like he would just be laying on the rat hole and trying to burrow as much as he can.
I just don't want to sleep next to a bunch of other strangers that could kill me in my sleep.
Yeah, Maury's just gonna pull the curtain around her bed and probably set her owl drone up so it can watch while she sleeps. Which I'm still working on its design.
It'll help. It won't super help looking past the fog, but like you could definitely, if it just flying around, can see the immediate area.
I'm saying it's like in the room with her, keeping
Oh,
watch.
okay.
So if anybody messes with her stuff or hers, she would know.
Yeah, guys, nobody questioned the flying mini drone.
So
Okay.
for what
Do what
I
you have
do
to
have
do.
designed of the drone, it mimics actual like birds and shit from what this description was. So it actually just looks like the silvered bones of a crow that's like super big with bits of metal and shit tossed in there. I'll have an art piece tossed up here soon, but it'll take me a minute.
Yeah, that's just what the owl drone normally looks like, but obviously you can customize how it looks like. But that's the baseline of what the owl drone is.
Yeah, the little bit of art that I did of Maury's gear, it is the crow that is like stuck to her vest. It can remove itself from it. I come down here.
I mean, to be fair, Raga is always flying, so just in their little spot, trying to stay underneath the curtains.
Yeah, when activated, it looks like a living creature that has its own thoughts. Using an action, you can take off the drone in a space adjacent to you. Oh, it's also classified as tiny. Could it get into the rat hole?
Don't go into my rat hole. That's my rat hole.
oh no.
This is our new obsession.
I think on
rat hole.
technicality it could.
Yeah, I
If
don't
a
think
lizard
she
could get
would
through,
put it in the
yes.
rat hole. She wouldn't put it in the rat hole, but it's funny to me that she would. Its only goal right now is to just keep watching her shit herself.
Well, assuming that nobody really does anything for that drone to really go off or anything else, um, like I said, you guys got that of your long rest. Get up in the morning, and
Yes.
I don't know if anybody's specifically hungry, but that's up to you guys if you can scrounge up some food. Who's a cook here?
Not me.
I can. No. If we're using survival checks as the basis off of cooking, then no.
I mean, there's actually just cook's utensils if you have that, but
Oh yeah, no.
No.
The fuck that, no. No, not in the slightest. She could invent you up a really nice thing of Chinaware, but no.
If nobody else tries to make food, John has like some rations that he could try to mix up. It's probably not going to be great, but it's not going to be
Maurice.
terrible.
Yeah,
Just
Rego
gonna
could be doing
be
that too.
there you
eating
go.
some like ration, like nuts out of her bag.
There you go. There's your guys' rations on the table. All that assortment of food.
Amazing.
In either case, it is you guys sitting down to eat. I don't know how early it is for you guys, but by the time that you guys would get a visit from that evictor would be just around noon. Uh as well as Asterius not getting out of bed. He's slept.
Okay, like he's dead.
I don't know, is he?
I feel like after a certain point,
I-
somebody would go check on his vitals.
Yeah.
Like
I mean-
probably Maury as the person who's a little bit of a healer, but
There's no need to check on anyone's vitals when you hear him snoring.
true, yeah, he snores. I forgot about that. No. He's breathing. She doesn't give a shit.
Yeah, just right now, it just doesn't seem like anything's gonna wake him up for the time being. In the meantime, though, comes around to be noon. Where is this? Here it is. Victor pretty much comes and walks in. Oh, this place is a lot nicer than I gave you all credit for a day's worth. And he kind of like said that out loud on purpose to get anybody's attention.
Morning.
I come out of the rat hole.
Of course.
I mean, he didn't see it. He's in the main floor.
Glad to hear you think so highly of us.
Well, I hope to say more highly things here soon. As I have for you all your first task. Where, you know what? Maybe it might be best if I don't know. I would like to say Asterius would join you all on this, but it might be a little bit extra, especially considering I think I hear him snoring.
Does he get paid, or do we get
Yes.
his cut?
Mm.
I say, appearing from the stairs.
Neither. He will earn himself a different type of pay from something else, so no need to worry about it. For now, for the rest of you at least, everybody else here, I truly want that, as I have said last night, Piltover and Zaun to be united once again, whether it is I'm believed or not. as for some reason, the name Victor appears to not be a very good name to have around here. In any case,
Do people that lived in Zaun know why that's the case? Like, would CC know?
Braga would know.
Maury knows.
uh, well, people in Zaun also fought, so yeah.
CC, when he says that, CC goes, I wonder why.
Can't imagine it.
It truly is weird, and I don't understand it, but as much as I would love to use my name and make my name and myself out there, I'm going to have to not with this group, considering that it would only put a bad look on you all for some reason. I have to look more into that later. In any case, I want you all to do something more on the simpler side. And for today, tonight, just for a good while, go around, look around, feel out maybe even areas if you want to, of that of Zaun. Preferably together, but do whatever you want. As I want you all to see just exactly what Zaun has come to nowadays. Some of you might understand more than others what I mean, but for now, I think it would be best that you see yourself. Just whatever you do, as I said before, don't involve my name. It will be for the best of both worlds.
Out of character, real quick.
Right.
Didn't the flyers that he had posted have his name on it?
The flyers that he posted, yes, had his name on it, but there's a difference because right now, he's pretty much saying if you guys go out as a group, you guys are just a random group. Like,
He doesn't want us to be associated with his name. Yet we were hired by him publicly in a tavern yesterday.
that's what it sounds like, yeah.
Question that.
I'm not questioning it.
He's just sitting there, straight face, no emotion, just nods. Give me 2 seconds.
Either way,
Alright.
you are all free to go as you want. I'd suggest as a group, and I will set up Viserius for doing something else that I had planned today. Don't worry though. He'll probably be doing more heavier lifting than all of you, I'd hope.
Mm. Hmm. Well then.
Yeah, John's just gonna get up and start walking.
You guys are at the very moment in like upper Zaun, so that's up to you on how deep you guys want to go. In either case, are you guys just kind of walking aimlessly, walking around? Are you guys looking for anything in specific? Just generalistic idea.
So he just wants us to like do whatever?
Look around, yeah.
More specifically, observe that of what Zaun is. That's pretty much like he pretty much gave you that as the day task.
I literally just go along with anything. Like I don't know anything here, so
He wants us to stick together though, right?
yes.
Mm.
Well, that's the idea.
I kind of look and I go, well, I can't take you to any of the fun places since we have to stick together.
Yeah, Rago's gonna turn to John and I was like, have you been in Zaun or have you just stayed in Piltover?
I've lived in the lowest part of Piltover, so basically, no, I have not been Zaun.
Oh god, would that make Rago and Cece the only ones outside of maybe Astarias that live in Zaun? Because it sounds like Zindi did just get here. And other two are Piltovers.
Well,
So we are going to make a plan of where to go to see how the populace of Zon is doing. It would likely be best to go into either the deepest places or the highest places.
you don't want to
You get
go
to-
to the deepest places.
Oh.
That's how you die.
Would be the quickest way of getting an understanding of what the West of the West can be and what the best of the best can be, and draw a connection between the two for the center. Since I gather that is where most people will live. Would likely be the
CC looks dead serious and goes, unless whatever afterlife you believe in is one of learning and reincarnation, I'm telling you, it doesn't matter if you learn the deepest people if you're dead. We should go to the upper Zon, the place where it's safe for a group of strangers.
Then we will go with the upper.
Can I take them to, like, the quote-unquote safe place of Zon? For people
Where's
that
that?
aren't from Zon. That's why I say quote unquote. Like not just
Yeah,
safer.
Yeah, if you could name me an actual safe place, maybe. But
Well, my character, like Vander's old bar, like
if you think that's safe too, I mean that's up to you.
it's
There was
safer
literally a
than
bar fight
fucking.
last time.
Random
It's safer than
rooftop.
deep Zon. It's safer than going to the depths. I know that for sure.
Technically, the bar would be like middle to deep. So,
Like where those shops are that you see, like the shopping district of Zon. Like they might get their money stolen, but they're not gonna get killed.
I feel like that's
just
around the same
casual
area.
robbing.
Yeah, that's better. We'll go. I'll lead them there.
Oh no.
We can see how Zonites spend their money.
All right. I'm assuming that everybody wants to go there.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
the group's going there. We're kind of just exploring it. In the case of those who aren't from Zaun,
You proceed. You proceed to the
yeah.
shop districts. I was gonna, you know what? I thought about making y'all roll, but I ain't even gonna make y'all roll. I'm just gonna say, like, I'm gonna explain it's all like this. You basically walking towards that of the shopping districts is on. You look to your left, you see a deal happening. Yeah, it's a shady deal happening in the alleyway. You look to your right, some guys getting their pockets pilfered as they're sleeping. You look forward, you see a bunch of of people, pretty much like side street vendors, proceeding to be having like some type of gimmick or something usually to all their games. As you see, there's not very many winners, and there's a lot of sour people looking to be in Zon. And if you're not looking at that of the shopkeepers either, then you're looking at that of the poor Zon urchins on the streets.
I look
Boy.
over. I look over at the other games being played, and I kind of like look over at the group, and I go. These guys are terrible at their games of choice. In fact, you guys could probably win. They're that bad at rigging them.
I am not one to
Maybe
test
in the
my
future.
money with luck.
Maybe in the future.
John
Well,
just stares at this, and all he has left to say is, so do we go deeper now?
anything you guys want to buy?
I do not need anything.
Draco's just trying their hardest to keep their head down and stay behind Zinti.
Come get your caps, buff caps. They're fresh. Come get the buff caps.
Buff caps? Is that
Are
what
those
it was?
mushrooms?
Unfortunately, so.
You look over to see a
Mushrooms are
stand.
good.
You look over to see a stand. It doesn't even look that good. It kind of looks a little bit dirty, but it seems like a huge wagon that seems to be filled to the brim with these weird, like, mushrooms that seem bigger than that seem as big as like a small creature, maybe nearing a medium creature. Why do I say that? You'll see here in a sec. Oh, here he is. View character. There you go. You see a older like fellow on that of this wagon with his bike clipboard, and he's looks like you're probably your average man trying to sell some really exotic goods. Except the exotic goods kind of look like they're pulsating. Whether that means something or
Interesting.
not, who cares? Guys just selling some buff caps.
Can I do a nature check on these to see what the hell they are?
Those look different than the ones I'm
Alright.
used to.
Do you know what these are?
For this one, only one person can give me a check to know what these are.
I don't think
I
I'm.
think I have the
well
highest
versed.
natural intelligence, so
Yeah, I should not be rolling this.
I'll roll it then, I guess.
This is my way of saying if the smartest person in the group does not know it, none of y'all are gonna know it.
19.
Funny enough, you don't exactly know what these are. However, you do have some things to go off of. You can tell, first and foremost, with the pulsating parts on the mushroom, your survival instincts are going, that's probably very very volatile, very poisonous in some shape, way, or form.
Maury takes a few steps back, does not say anything about that. Does say anything to the party.
And the other
They can
part
handle
that
it.
you would know is that there's not many places mushrooms can grow, especially to be this size, meaning this guy probably went into the fucking sewers for this.
Interesting. She writes it down in a book. Which I
Most likely sewer mushrooms.
says nothing about it being volatile, by the way. Have fun with that.
Well,
I
I'm
just
not gonna-
stuck my hair in my mom's head.
I am not gonna test it.
John wasn't interested in buying anything from here, anyways.
Oh yeah, definitely most things here are pretty shady. In all honesty, if you went to if you did like regular shopping, everything that you would get down here at the very moment is probably double the price.
Wait, even raw materials?
Even raw materials.
Yeah. John's not gonna bother then. Because he considered it for a second. He could possibly get some decent raw materials out here. But no.
Is there any like black market place to go?
I mean, there's tons of black markets. It's on.
But like where you go when it's not for tourists?
I don't know what you're trying to tell me here.
Like I don't know how to explain it right. Like
If you want to go to a shady black market, I'm telling you, like, they're everywhere.
Kind of like the most exotic, most expensive of wares, stuff that would probably either kill you or alter you in fundamental ways that could never be stopped. That kind of thing.
kind of, but also I was thinking like you know how when you're a tourist going to places and like all the spots are like triple the price, but then like there's hidden local spots where it's like if you know where to look, you can go there for
Like half off type stuff.
like because you're a local and you know about it. Like I want to take them somewhere cool since I've lived here my entire life.
If you go somewhere like that, you're not gonna get half off. You would get that of what would be normal price, which is not double the price, but that is still a considerable deal comparative to most anywhere else that you could go in Zaun right now.
Is there anywhere I can take them that's like cool? What I would consider cool?
Like an acid pit.
I was gonna say something, but I can't.
This is where we throw our trash.
Quite literally, this is just because of it being an undercity. This is just whatever you can kind of think of is here. That of the markets, black markets. There's that of the bars, brothels.
I don't know what fake Victor would want us to see.
I mean, at the very moment, what you've seen so far is Zaun's pretty terrible.
Zaun's home. Victor
There's
needs to
a
get off his
guy
high horse.
getting stabbed in the corner.
Yeah, that's home. That's
Oh, there's a
Johnny.
guy
He
getting
stabbed.
stabbed.
Johnny stabs somebody every week.
That's Steve Stabby Hands.
Yeah, Steve Stabby Hands stabs somebody every week. That's why his name's Steve Stabby Hands.
Steve Stabby Hands, the short stack. Santee.
I just don't like this pilt over and come into my place implying that it needs to be fixed. This is home.
I mean, maybe not fixed, but at least.
What he just wants to turn it into Piltover 2.0? Piltover's lame. Why would anybody want to live there?
And suck my golden city. You can't hear it right now, but there are children screaming so loudly right outside my apartment. It is driving me nuts. I could turn off my sound suppression and you'd hear it so clearly.
No, thank you.
I
I appreciate the sound suppression.
I
Good
understand.
lord. Somebody's getting killed out there. That's how Zaun sounds. People screaming. 100%. 100%.
The Regos get a turn to CC and it's like, yes, even though this is our home, it can at least be a little bit more survivable instead of everyone dying over the smallest mistake.
I don't know. There's plenty of old people here.
Old people with a lot of issues.
Yeah, but that builds character. I don't know. I just I don't fully understand the point of what he wants us to do here.
I believe he wants us to observe, see what needs fixing.
But the things that need fixing, we would die going to observe.
A random guy walks up to your group. Hey, any of you looking for some arguments?
Dognar, get out of here. Dognar, Go do this to somebody else.
Oh. I may be laughing. Mori is dead-faced and serious. God, that fucking got me real good. That name came out instantly.
Dognar
Dogdar's gotta do what he can to live, man. Okay. As he
Yeah,
goes
but why
off.
are you? When he says that, I stop him. I go, Dognar, you gotta do what you gotta do to live. But why would you come to me asking about that?
He looks at you, looks at them, and it says, "Because there's 8 of you. There's plenty of you."
I get out of here, Dognar, and I give him
Mori
a bronze piece. I
Turns
give him a
around.
piece of bronze.
There should only be 5 of us at this moment, I think. What do
Oh,
you mean
yeah.
8?
You could see,
Exactly.
you could see the
Didn't
whole
make a
time he was
mistake, Mori.
scratching himself.
He did make a mistake.
Jesus.
And when you threw that bronze coin, he dives for it and like
I wanted
starts to
no.
go.
I did not. I didn't throw it. That's how you start a fucking fight. I like palmed it into his hand. I didn't throw it. That's crazy.
You palmed
Palm
it
it into
into this guy's hand, and he's like, hey.
He takes 3 steps, gets mugged for it, and that guy gets
Gets
mugged.
Immediately.
I wasn't gonna say it, but yeah.
But
Literally, he goes around the corner, and you start to hear.
shit.
Wait, who are you?
Wait,
Drago's gonna just point off and be like, "See what I mean?"
that
Yeah, it's
should
home.
not be a common day occurrence. That is objectively bad.
I don't know. I just feel like if we're trying
I'm
to
still
fix-
alive. I only got shot once.
I know you are, Dognar. I just
Really?
I just feel like I don't break like talking. I feel like if we're trying to quote unquote fix Zaun, you should start with the Chem Barons. You should start with the the gangs and the stuff that actually matters, not just the citizens. I'm not gonna stop a random mugging because they're probably mugging to live.
Say we go after the Kim Barons. We can't go straight to them. They have too many people that work for them.
Yes.
So they have their armies. We build up our own. Take their own people out from underneath their own feet. Start
We're
with
not
the
using other
smallest
people
of
as-
people. I'm not saying we should use people as pawns to do our dirty work, but we steal from them the supports that they stand on until they are but a raft floating in the water with no way of home.
The last time an army came after the Chem Barons, enforcers declared martial law, and tons of people died.
Oh, this
Yeah, you
seems,
know.
all seems terribly complicated.
This would never be an easy fix.
I think your background noise, Maury, makes it so much better.
Oh, do you want me to turn on my background?
No,
Hold
I,
on, just
no,
a
I
second.
I hear it once in a while.
It comes, yeah. it
Every
comes
once in a while. 2
no.
seconds. I can just.
The screams are just
Like,
the screen. He's literally giving us the background noise for Zaun.
You just hear the background.
Oh, what the fuck?
that was Dognar.
Poor dog back. In the background, you just see, I got a free knife!
I got a free knife.
Believe it or not, but this is one of Dogmar's good days.
He gets stabbed in the leg, but it's augmented, so it just is something he has to repair up again.
Honestly, him having something worth mugging shows it's a good day for him.
Yeah. Alright, let me turn on my. Just get to hear the screaming whenever I speak now.
Mm.
When it gets particularly bad.
Is there a neighborhood like closer to the Chem Barons that you can go that you won't just get murdered going to because you're not a part of the Chem Baron gang? just like get as close to the Chembarans as you
I
can
mean,
by not being.
I mean, technically, territories are just almost most of the territories are owned just by Canberras. You technically could walk anywhere. It's just the closer you actually get to the like places that they would be is definitely heavily more protected.
Yeah, I want to lead them to like whatever territory, whatever Canberran controls this territory, the closest we can actually get to them without, getting accosted.
So
Wait, didn't you speak of Cambarans and gangs as two different entities?
Well, they control Canberran. They technically are, right? This is out of character. They technically are. I think it's just. I think Canberrans control the gangs, but technically they're supposed to be independent. It's like how Kingpin controls criminals on the street, but criminals are technically independent to Kingpin.
Right.
At least that's my understanding of how it works.
All right. Uh, I will say, as you guys are going about here, you guys do hear a little bit of noise, and this time, it's not screaming as you're going by Zaun. This actually sounds like cheers. Maybe even a little hope being spread. A little bit weird. Oh well.
No one in Zaun is
No.
happy. Let's go check.
yeah, let's go.
Let me take a quick check on something. All right. As you guys are kind of like looking around, getting around, you hear that of some cheers, and it's kind of like a little bit weird considering you don't normally hear good things happening in Zaun. You go around a corner, take a little look see. You see people. You see people in weird white and kind of like white and almost like gold lining clothes of sort. It's a little bit weird looking at them considering the fact that obviously what they have on them isn't real gold by any means, but at least it's somewhat looking to be realistic gold, as it seems of people of different shapes and sizes, all kind of like on their knees at the moment, like almost in like a praying down, like a praying position, holding themselves towards that towards that um of a man in front of the ball. This man, no shall now show on screen, seems to also even be loved by people around him.
What the hell?
Show us more. In due time, children, you will all know that. Fuck, what was it? Oh yeah. He goes, you will all know that of a storm's way soon enough. May the storm be only such a test. For life is a gamble sometimes. But down here, even together, we can be at one. And it's all thanks to that of the spirits. That's of the God to which we pray. Praise be that of Janna. He looks over, seeing that of a new group looking about. You fellows there, would you care to join us?
No.
What
I
are you?
I am a simple messenger,
Why'd you ask?
and we are but simple followers. I could show you many things that you would have never understood in life, and it's all thanks to that of the spirit.
Given my extensive knowledge, and being familiar with many cultures, I guess, would I know of these people or recognize them, possibly?
These people are technically older than you. What do I
Fairly
mean by that?
different.
I mean older than your family.
Okay, wow. Do I know where they hail from? If this is
They
originally, like, what's their kind of
they
goal here?
because this is would have been super early on in history. Um, they would have been hailed from that of Shurima, but a lot of people from Zaun originally actually were from Shurima. So that's not going to be of any sort of surprise. Now, that of a wind spirit, the reason why he's talking about even or sorry, I say the reason, but the thing about the wind spirit that he's talking about, Janna actually uh is very much a real thing. And why can I tell you that? Because as much as it sounds like propaganda, every time there becomes like that of like ship trades where people would need to have that of safe travels and everything, every single time without fail, whenever people need safe passage, they get that of Janna's help. They pray for it even. And afterwards, they have that of safe passage. And it's
These
been
people
like that for literally near the beginning of the creation of Zaun, essentially. That's why I'm saying these guys are older than your family.
So they've always been very frequent within Zaun and built over and throughout this region of the area. Okay. Writing that down. Do they seem to be collecting tithes, giving out anything, just speaking and showing, preaching? Anything
Well,
of that matter?
normally it would be weird. A little bit weird for that of Zaun to just have random money laying about. But there is that of a huge pool in front of them with that of a statue that represents that of a wind spirit. One that's been there for a while, obviously, with that of all the money looking to be various different coins between bronze, silver, and gold, untouched. And if there's reason to it, who knows? I know for them though, their reason would be to give that of money up to that of Janna, as they're pretty much giving offerings.
Oh, it's a priest. And they're just here to preach, as far as I can tell.
Hmm.
As far as you can tell. There's even a guy that comes by, and it's there's even another guy that comes by and is like, he looks to CC probably a slight bit newer to Zaun comparative to some people here, but he still looks somewhat Zaunite. And looking around, he looks at that of a pool of money. He like very heavily like is like, what are these people doing? Just leaving money about. He starts snatching up some money. They're not even reacting. He just snatching up money, snatching up some money, and like starts to pocket it and is like, these suckers don't even aren't even gonna do nothing. Hell yeah.
Sees the
He
eyes.
proceeds to walk on by, and a piano falls on him.
Huh?
Where did you get that
Idiot.
from piano?
You look
You don't
you'll
mess with the religious.